For our session today, we will be having the topic probability. Now, to begin with, let's define probability first. So, take note. Probability is simply a mathematical tool used to study randomness. It deals with a chance, meaning the likelihood of an event to occur. Like, for example, if I'm going to be asking you, you go outside, then you tell me the probability that it will rain. Now, if the weather outside is so sunny, the probability is less. But if the weather outside is cloudy, then the probability that it will rain is greater. So that's what you mean by probability, the chance that the event will occur. Something will occur. Like, for example, who among you here, ang mga parents kay they do or they play the game Lotto? Probably ang kanang 6 digits or the 3 digits or the suertres. That's a game of chance. Because probability there, when I say playing Lotto, the probability is very, very less. Because if you have one card there, one game, the probability is 1 in a billion or 1 in a million. So meaning, that is simply a game of chance, and the chance of winning is less. When people win anang mga lottery, mga swerte dyan na sila. Okay? So take note of that. Probability is simply the chance or the likelihood of an event to occur. Okay? Now let's go to calculating probability. This will be the formula. The probability of an event is simply equal to the ratio of the number of favorable outcomes over the total number of possible outcomes. Later on, you will know what favorable outcomes means and what do you mean by the number of possible outcomes. In symbols, we will be writing it this manner. Okay? And you read this as the probability of an event is simply equal to the number of favorable outcomes divided by the total number of possible outcomes. Let's have our first example. Let's flip a coin. Diba when you flip a coin, the results are simply, or the outcomes are simply heads and tails. Okay? So, this is now my question. What is the probability of getting a head? Now, this is the question now. How many possible outcomes are there? The total number of possible outcomes. We have 1 and 2. That's why the number of possible outcomes is simply 2. Now, let's proceed to unsa may atong gipangita sa question nato, getting ahead. Now, this will now be our favorable outcome. This is the favorable outcome, getting ahead. Now, how many heads are there when you flip a coin? Section Zircon, how many heads are there when you flip a coin? 1. Okay, you only have you have the outcomes here. A head and a tail. How many heads are there, sir? Only 1 head, sir. So meaning, I'm gonna have 1 there. So take note of the formula. 1 is the favorable outcome. This one over here. This is our favorable outcome. And this will be the numerator. The total number of outcomes is simply the denominator. So the probability is simply, that's pila ganito ato ang favorable outcome. This one. This one is the favorable outcome. This one is the total number of outcomes. So meaning, the probability of getting ahead is simply 1/2. 1 here represents getting ahead, which is only one outcome. The 2 here is simply the total number of outcomes. We have 1 and 2. Is our first example clear? Okay, let's continue. Now this time, what if we will be tossing 2 coins? So take note, these are our outcomes, HH, HT, tails and heads, tails and tails. Now this is now my question. By the way, those are the outcomes. Okay? Now, what is the probability of getting only one head? So let's focus first on how many possible outcomes are there? 4. There are 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are 4 all in all possible outcomes. Now, let's go to the favorable outcome. So take note, this is our N of S. That's our denominator. Okay? Next. What about the number of outcomes to get only one head? Because our favorable outcome is getting only one head. How many outcomes are there of getting only one head? Is this only one head? This one? That's 2 heads. That's di na siya pwede, cannot be. So I'm not gonna include that in my favorable outcome. What about heads and tails? Is that only one head? Yes. Okay, let's encircle that. What about tails and heads? Okay. What about tails and tails? Is there one head there? Dili pwede. Okay, how many outcomes are there that contains only one head? Okay, there will be 2. So take note, our favorable outcomes are simply heads and tails, tails and heads. And this one, kining 2, this will be our numerator. Okay? So take note, the numerator is less than or equal the denominator. So what will be the probability now? This will be 2 over 4. And when you reduce 2 over 4, what's the result there? Divide this by 2. Divide this by 2. How much do you get? That is simply 1/2. So meaning, the probability of getting only one head is 1/2. Okay? Now let's still have coins. But this time, let's toss 3 coins. And take note, those are the possible outcomes. This is now my first question sa tossing 3 coins. What is the probability of getting at least 2 tails? So when I say at least, what do you mean by the word at least? Section Zircon, what do you mean by the word at least? So take note, it's at least 2 tails. This means 2 or more tails. So, pwede 2 tails, pwede 3 tails. Is the word at least clear? Okay, so let's have our first denominator atong unang i-check. So, how many possible outcomes are there? 8. If you will count this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 8 possible outcomes. Now, let's check it now. Again, at least 2 tails, meaning 2 or more tails. Is this included? H, H, H. Does it contain 2 or more tails? No. This one, H, H, T. No gihapon. What about H, T, H? No. What about H, T, T? Pwede. Let's encircle that. What about T, H, H? T, H, H. That's still a no. THT, duha ka tails. Okay. TTH. Okay, pwede because you have 2 tails. Tails, tails, and tails. So when I say at least 2 tails, 2 or more. So meaning, this is possible. So, how many number of outcomes to get at least 2 tails? 4. And take note, these are the 4 favorable outcomes. HTT, THH, TTH, and TTT. And what will be your answer now, Section Zircon? The probability is simply, is it how did you get 1/2? Okay, this is my question. How did you get 1/2? You had, what's your numerator here? Is it 4 or 8? Ang 4. Okay, so the numerator is 4, the denominator is 8. And your classmate said 1/2 because this can be reduced by dividing both numerator and denominator by 4. Okay? So take note how when we have fractions, dapat simplest form ang answers nato ana niya. Are there any questions about this problem? Is this clear? Okay, let's continue. Let's continue. Now, this time, let's have still tossing 3 coins. But this time, what is the probability of getting exactly 1 head? So, still, the number of outcomes, that's still 8. Because we have counted that already. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, meaning our denominator here will be 8. So, this time, to look for your numerator, go to the favorable outcome. The favorable outcome is getting exactly 1 head. Asa man ang exactly 1 head ana niya? Can you tell me, please? I'm gonna encircle that. HHT, exactly 1 head. HTH, that when I say exactly 1 head, usara jud ka head. When I say HHT, duha man na. When I say HTH, duha man na ka heads. I am only after of 1 head only. Where is it? TTH, atong TTH, exactly 1 head, dining TTH, TTH, there you go, exactly 1 head. What else? THT, where's THT? Dara, exactly 1 head. Okay, correct. What else? HTT. Naapay laing dira nga exactly one head. Kini dili pwede kay tulo ka heads. Dili pwede kay duha ka heads. Kini this cannot be because you have two heads there. This one, two heads, cannot be. Kini no head at all. So meaning, we have only how many number of possible outcomes to get exactly one head? 3 lang na siya. And those are HTT, THH, TTH. And what will be the probability now? So I will be writing the number 3 in the numerator. Okay? So the probability is simply 3/8. Is this clear? Okay, let's continue. Still tossing 3 coins. But this time, I will be having what is the probability of getting exactly 2 heads. So let's determine first the number of possible outcomes. That's still 8. Now this is now my question. Number of possible outcomes to get exactly 2 heads. Asa man ani sa mga outcomes that contains exactly 2 heads? THH. Okay, that's correct. What else? HHT. Okay, correct. What else? HTH. Are there any other outcomes there that contains exactly 2 heads? Wala na. So meaning we only have 3 for our favorable outcomes. And that would be HHT, HTH, THH. And what will be the probability now? Oh, what's your denominator, man? Is it 3 or is it 8? What's your numerator? Is it 3 or 8? 3 ang numerator. What's the denominator? Okay, there you go. That will be the probability of getting exactly 2 heads. Okay, now let's move further. Still tossing 3 coins, but this time, I want to have the word at most. At most, 1 tail. When I say at most 1 tail, it means 1 tail or less. Okay? Take note of that. When I say at most 1 tail or no tail at all. Possible man ng no tail. When I say at most 1 tail. So let's identify them. But before that, the total number of outcomes, it's still 8. Now this is now my question. How many number of possible outcomes to get at most 1 tail? Let me ask you a question. Is this at most 1 tail? This one? Yes, because it does not contain a tail, correct? What about this one? At most 1 tail. Yes. What about this one? Yes. What about this one? No, correct? What about this one? That's a yes. What about this? That's a no-no. What about this one and this? That's a no-no. So take note, pwede no tail, 1 tail, 1 tail, 1 tail. So how many outcomes are there to get at most 1 tail? 4. So those would be HHH. There you go. HHT, HTH, and THH. And what will be the probability now? 4/8. Correct. Reduce 4/8. That's 1/2. That's correct. 1/2. Okay? Let's have another question for tossing 3 coins. What if I'm going to be asking you, what is the probability of getting at least 3 tails? So when I say at least 3 tails, what do you mean by 3 tails or more? Correct. 3 tails or more. So, asa man ana ang 3 tails or more? So, it's still 8 ang number of outcomes. So, how many number of possible outcomes to get at least 3 tails? Asa man ang 1 ana big? Go. You said 1. Correct. Kini siyang tail. And that will be our probability. 1/8. Okay? Let's have another question. Tossing 3 coins. Let's play on this one because we can create many questions about this. What about getting a probability of at most 3 tails? So when you say at most 3 tails, it means 3 tails or less or below. Okay. And then still the number of outcomes is 8. Now my question is, how many possible outcomes to get at most 3 heads? 8. So meaning, ato i-check. 8. Nganong na 8 manabi? Kay, kini silang tanan, okay man anang getting at most 3 heads. That's correct. So what's the probability now? 8/8, that's simply equal to 1. Okay? Now, let's have another question on tossing 3 coins. What is the probability of getting exactly 4 tails? It's still 8 outcomes. What about how many possible outcomes are there to get 4 tails? None. So meaning I'm gonna be writing 0 because wala man tay 4 ka tails sa atong outcomes. So meaning our probability is 0/8 or simply 0. So take note, our answer sa probability are numbers from 0 to 1. Dili jud na siya pwede mo mas mudako siya sa 1 ang inyohang answer. It should be a fraction that is less than 1. Okay? So meaning, kung fraction atong answer, the numerator should be less than the denominator. Or pwede siya equal para ma-equal sa 1. Okay, this time, let's have rolling 1 dice. Diba, these are the outcomes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is now the sample space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many total number of possible outcomes are there? There are 6 possible outcomes. Okay. Now, what if I'm going to be asking you, I will be getting a number 4. So, how many number of outcomes are there to get a number 4? To get a number 4, pila man ka number 4 sa 1 to 6? Only 1. Okay, we only have 1 number 4 there. Getting a 4, that's only 1. So what is the probability of getting a 4? What's your numerator here? Is it 1 or 6? 1 ang numerator. Ang denominator is 6. So take note, the 1 here represents the 1 nga number 4. And the 6 here represents 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total number of outcomes. Okay? Now let's have another problem about rolling 1 dice. So take note, there are 6 possible outcomes. This is now my question. What if I want to get an odd number? So how many odd numbers are there from 1 to 6? What are the odd numbers from 1 to 6? What are those three numbers? Okay, let me write that down. 3, 1, 3, and 5. Correct. Those are our favorable outcomes. So what is the probability of getting an odd number? 3 over 6. Reduce that. That's 1/2. Okay? So take note, the number 3 here represents the number of odd numbers. That's 1, 2, 3. The number 6 here represents 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the total number of outcomes. Then reduce your answer. Okay? Now, let's continue. Rolling 1 dice gihapon ta. We have here our outcomes. This is our number of outcomes. It's still 6. And then, what if I'm going to be getting a number less than 3? Or what are numbers less than 3? 1 and 2. So this will be 2 and the number will be 1 and 2. So if I'm going to be asking you what is the probability of getting a number less than 3, what's your answer for this? 2 over 6, correct. So meaning, this is your numerator, this is your denominator. And reduce, yes, ma-reduce pa na siya. What's the reduced form? 1/3, that's correct. Divided by 2, both numerator and denominator to get 1/3. Okay? Now, this time, let's have rolling 1 dice gihapon. These are the outcomes. Take note. What is the probability of getting a number that is prime? When I say prime, sige, the total number of possible outcomes that still sticks. Okay? So, what are prime numbers? Let's list that down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Is 1 prime? 1 is not a prime number. The prime number starts with the number 2, followed. Okay? We have the number 2, the number 3, and the number 5. So when I say prime, the only factors of a prime number is the number itself and the number 1. That's what you call prime. When I say opposite of prime, that's what you call composite numbers. When I say composite numbers, it means that other than the number itself and 1, there are other factors. Like for example, what are factors of 4? Sir, I can have 2 times 2 for that. I can have 4 times 1 for that. So daghan siyang factors. If I'm gonna have 6, I can have 3 times 2 for 6. I can have 6 times 1 for 6. That's why these 2 numbers here, these are composite. So, what are the prime numbers from 1 to 6? Okay, that's 3 outcomes, 2, 3, 5. So, what will be the probability now of getting a prime number? 3 over 6. Reduce 3 over 6. That's 1/2. Okay, that's good. Now, this time, what if we will be rolling 2 dice? So this time, we will be using our sample space diagram. So take note, you already know this. These are our outcomes. You already know how to make this one. So let's just make this fast. These are our outcomes, 4th column, 5th column, and the 6th column. Okay, this is my question. How many number of possible outcomes do we have? 36. Now, what if I want to get a sum of 7? I want to get a sum of 7. What are numbers here when added? It's 7. What's 4 plus 2? Is it 7? Dapat i-add na to 7. 4 and 3. What else? Go on. 5, 2. Okay, what else? 1, 6. What else? 6, 1. What else? 4, 3. What else? 2, 5. So, kini siya diagonally, ang sum ana niya is 7. O i-add di siya section zircon, pilay sum ani niya. 2, 6, 3, 5, 4, 8. Okay. The sum ani siya. Kani. 3, 6, 4, 5, 9. Do you get the pattern here? What's the sum? 10. What's the sum? 11. And we have 12. Same thing with this. If I'm gonna add these numbers, how much do I get? 6. These numbers here. 5. These numbers here. 4. What about this? 3. And lastly, 2. So we have a pattern there when we are getting sums. So how many outcomes are there to get a sum of 7? 6. And the outcomes are 1, 6, kana sila. 2, 5, 3, 4, 4, 3, 5, 2, and 6, 1. So what is now the probability of getting a sum of 7? Why 1 over 6? How did you come up with 1 over 6? Okay, 6 over 36 then. Correct. Dividing both numbers by 6 to get 1 over 6. Okay? Now, let's proceed. Still rolling 2 dice. Okay? Still rolling 2 dice. Those are our outcomes. Those are our outcomes, I mean. And then, it's still 36, the number of possible outcomes. Now, this time, what if I'm gonna be getting a sum greater than 7? When I say a sum greater than 7, what numbers are possible there? 8, 9, 10. Di ba ato na ning gikuan? Pilagay sum ani niya kini siya diagonally kini. Sorry. Kini diagonally. Pilay sum ani. 8. So meaning apil na ni sila. Greater man ni sa 7. Asa pa may numbers greater than 7 din ha? Ang sum. Kini 9. Kini 10. Kini 11. Kini 12. So meaning, kini siya tanan og pababaw, maunay ato ang number of possible outcomes. How many are there? There are 15. So if you're gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, there are 15 outcomes there nga ang sum is greater than 7. Those are the favorable outcomes. We have already encircled that. So what is the probability of getting a sum greater than 7? Okay, how did you get that? The probability is simply 15 over 36. Reduce that. Divide both numbers by 3. You'll be getting 5 over 12 for that. Okay? This time, rolling 2 dice gihapon ta ha. We have the outcomes here. Okay, there you go. We have 36 possible outcomes still. This is now the question. A sum less than 6. Asa man ko mag-start ani niya? Diagonally. Sa 5, asa man to ang sum nga 5 gani? Okay. Kana. Unya, is it going up or going down? Going down. We have a sum of 4, a sum of 3, and a sum of 2. Now, how many outcomes are there? There are 10 possible outcomes. And these are our outcomes. Take note of that. And what is the probability of getting a sum less than 6? 10 over 36. Reduce that. Divide both numbers by 2. Common man si 2. Okay. 5 over 18. Okay. That's 5 over 18. Now, I'm gonna be teaching you, Isa for a while. Keep that. I'm gonna keep that first. We are not yet done, ha? I will just share to you. Di pa gipa-download ta mog scientific calculator. If you have downloaded this already, you can reduce fractions using your calculator. Like for example, pila gito atong answer gani ha? That was 10 over 36. You simply encode the fraction symbol here, 10, then bring down the cursor, press 36 equals. It will give you 5 over 18. So making use of your calculator, it will give you reduced forms of calculators right away. Now, if ever like, sir, I want to make it decimal, or press this one. Oh, it's the decimal form. If you want to go back to the fractional form, or press it again. So the calculator is a very useful tool in solving mga math problems nato. Okay? Now, let's continue. We are done with this already. Let's just make this fast. Okay, there you go. Still rolling 2 dice. But this is now my scenario. So we still have 36 outcomes this time. Getting 2 numbers that are even. To get 2 numbers that are even. O asa man ani bi 2 numbers nga even. You tell me, ako i-encircle. 2, 2, correct. What else? 2, 4. 4, 2. What else? 4, 6. Okay, what else? 6, 2. 6, 4. What else? 4, 4. What else? 2, 6. Okay. Napa? 6, 6. Napay lain? Wala na. So, how many number of possible outcomes to get 2 numbers nga even? 9. And those are the numbers. So, what's the probability of getting 2 numbers that are even? 9 over 36. Reduce that. Ma-reduce pa na. Divided by 9. Divided by 9. How much is that? It's simply, okay, that's 1 over 4. Okay? You can use your calculator on this when you want to reduce fractions. Okay? Next, still rolling 2 dice. Okay? Still rolling 2 dice, but this is now our scenario for this problem. We still have, this is the question. What is the probability of getting exactly 1 odd number? So you know for a fact already it's 36 outcomes. Now, asa man, where is the exactly 1 odd number there? Lige, let's start over the first column. Exactly 1 odd number. Asa man? Dapat isa ka. 1, 2. Okay, what else? 1, 4. What else? 1, 6. Second column ta. Per column ta. Sige, ang second column. 2, 1. Okay, 2, 3. Correct. What else? 2, 5. Third column. What are those numbers? 3, 6. 3. Okay. What about the fourth column? 4, 5, 4, 3, 4, 1. Fifth column. 5, 2, 5, 4, 5, 6. Correct. What about the last column? Okay, 6, 5, 6, 3, 6, 1. Exactly one odd number. How many are there? 18. Now, what is now the probability? What is now the probability of getting exactly one odd number? 18 over 36. Reduce that. 1/2. Okay? Still, rolling 2 dice gihapon ta. Let's play on this. Para you'll be given a lot of questions, problems on this. Para when I give exercises, you already have the idea on how to go about the problem. Okay, this one. What is the probability of getting the same numbers? So meaning, still 36. What are those outcomes having the same numbers? 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6. All in all, there are 6 outcomes. So meaning the probability is simply 6 over 36. Reducing that, you'll be getting 1 over 6 or 1/6. Okay? Now this time, you still remember the deck of cards? So let's play on that. Find the probability of getting a diamond. So take note, our denominator will be 52 because a deck of cards has 52 cards on it. Now this is my question. How many diamonds are there in a deck of cards? Is it 14? Are you sure? Sige, i-review inyuhang ang katong lesson na to sa deck of cards. How many diamonds are there? Di ba upat na kabuok? Diamond, heart, spades, and clubs. Kanang 52, i-divide na ko kaupat, tagpila-pila man kada suit. There will be, it's not 8. Sure, 52 divided by 14? I mean, 52 divided by 4 is 14? What's 52 divided by 4? 13. Maunay atong gipangita. Now, reduce nato ning 13 over 52. What's the answer? O gamitan na to calculator. Pila to? 13 over 52. O pilay answer na to? 1/4 ang answer na to, ana niya. Okay? Let's have another question. A black card. Still, pilay denominator ani section zircon? 52. Now, how many black cards do we have? Take note, katunga anang 52, red, katunga, black. So, how many black cards do we have? 26. Or reduce 26 over 52. Use the calculator. 26 over 52 equals. Answer is 0.5, that's 1/2. Okay? Now, let's have another question. A red queen. So, pilay denominator, it's still 52. How many red queens do we have? Duha. Red heart nga queen, diamond nga queen. O reduce ng 2 over 52. Use your calculator, please. 1 over 26. Correct. Okay. Let's have our fourth problem for the deck of cards. A red face card. What? 52 gihapon. Nganong 4 man inyong gibutang sa red face card? What are face cards? Okay, Jack, Queen, ug King. Nya, red man na. Pila man ka red nga Jack, pila ka red na 6 in all. Correct. Kay duha man ni ka red nga Jack, duha red nga Queen, duha ka red nga King. Okay, tagduha-duha man na sila. Reduce 6 over 52. O, gamitan na tog cycle para sa yun. 6 over 52. Pila man na, be? The answer is 3 over 26. Okay? So, section zircon na, please make use of a calculator para mas mudali ato ang pag-solve. Okay? Let's continue. A playing card. Playing cards gihapon ta. A number 8. So, this is still 52. Pila ka number 8 sa deck of cards? Section zircon, how many number 8s are there in a deck of cards? 4. Correct. So reduce that. 1 over 13. Okay? Let's have another question. A club. Still, the denominator is 52. How many clubs are there in a deck of cards? Club. Take note, heart, diamond, club, spades. Those are suits. So, mag-talk about ganitag mga suits, right away, pila ang ibutang? 13 na siya kabuok. So, reducing that, that will give us 1 over 4. Okay? A jack of spades. How many jack of spades do you have? One. Correct. Usara jud na ka jack of spades atong card, deck of cards. Next. Letter D. A black number card. Still 52. Diba ang number cards is from 2 to 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nya, black number cards, tagduha-duh. 18, correct. Then reduce that. Reduce 18 over 52. Gamitan na to calcu. We have 18, 52. If you're having a hard time reducing, use your calculator. 9 over 26. Okay? Now, this time, let's have colored balls. A box of colored ball has 10 white balls, 8 red balls, and 4 black balls. If a ball is drawn at random, what is the probability that the ball is a white ball? So, first thing, how many balls are there in the box? Na ako'y 10 white balls, na ako'y 8 red balls, and 4 black balls. All in all, how many balls are there? 22. Oh, that will be your denominator. Now, it's stated white. How many white balls are there? Oh, that's your numerator. Simple as that. Now, reduce that. Divided by 2, this becomes... Okay, there you go. What if I'm going to be asking you a red ball? What's your... Still 22, ang denominator, because all in all, there are 22 balls. How many red balls are there? Oh, 8 atong numerator. Reduce that. What is 8 over 22? Divided by 2 again. 4 over 11. Okay, let's have another problem. What about a black ball? Okay, that's correct. And divide this by 2, you'll get... There you go. What if, I'm giving you a lot of problems already. Last one. Let's have our last problem. A spinner. A spinner is divided into 12 equal parts, numbered 1 to 12. When the pointer is spun, what is the probability that it will stop at a prime number? So take note, ang atong mga outcomes mauni. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now, what are prime numbers from 1 to 12? 2, 3, 5, 7. What else? 11. How many? 5. 5 over 12. Oh, that's your answer now. 5 over 12. Okay? Next question. A number less than 13. A number that is less than 13. How many are there? 12 over 12. It's simply equal to 1. Okay? Another question. A number between 5 and 10. Between 5 and 10. Apil ba si 5 og si 10, ana? Walay apil si 5 og si 10. So meaning 6, 7, 8, 9. Upat. 4 over 12, which will give you, reduce, 1 over 3. Last question. A square number. Perfect squares. We have 4, we have 1, and we have 9. Those are perfect squares. That's 3 over 12. That's 1 over 4.